Okay, I'm gonna run through the answers for this worksheet real quick. So it has in this column, we have our cations listed. Up here in this row, we have our anions listed, but they have the name and not the actual formula. So we are going to be writing the formula and the name of the compound that is formed by putting these different cations and anions together. Okay, so first one, we have lithium. So it's going to be lithium has a +1, bromine is a -1, so our formula is just LiBr. Okay, and then we're going to name it. So it's just a binary ionic compound, so it's going to be lithium bromide. Okay, and then go to the next one. We have lithium and oxide, so lithium is a +1, oxygen is a -2. So we put those together and we get Li2O. And then it's just lithium oxide. So these are all ionic compounds. We won't have any of the Greek prefixes in these. Next we have hydroxide, which is our polyatomic ion. So we have lithium, which is a +1, hydroxide is a -1. So we get LiOH, so it's just a 1-to-1 ratio, so we don't need any subscripts. And then it's just lithium hydroxide. Okay. Then we have lithium with nitrate. So nitrate is a polyatomic ion, NO3 -1. Put those together and I get LiNO3. Okay, it's just a 1-to-1 ratio. And it's named lithium nitrate. Okay, last one we have phosphate, another polyatomic ion. And we have lithium, so lithium is a +1, phosphate is PO4 -3. Put those together and I get Li3PO4. I'm running out of room there. And then we name it lithium phosphate. Okay. Next line we have NH4, that's ammonium. And we're going to combine that with bromide, so NH4 +1 and bromine's a -1. Put those together and I get NH4Br. And then we just name it ammonium bromide. Okay, and then we're going to put NH4 +1 with oxygen, which is O -2, and get NH4. We're going to put that in parentheses because now we've got to put that subscript 2 on it, and then O, so NH4 2O. So that's going to be ammonium oxide. Okay, now hydroxide, so we have ammonium, NH4 plus, hydroxide is OH minus. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, so we don't need any switching there, NH4OH. And we can name it ammonium hydroxide. Okay, then we have nitrate, so ammonium, and then nitrate is NO3 minus, so it's a 1-to-1. So we're going to get NH4 NO3. So no parentheses needed because we just have one of each. And then it's going to be ammonium nitrate. Okay, then we have phosphate. So we have NH4 and PO4 -3. So we're going to get the 3 coming over here onto ammonium. So NH4, we have 3 of them, PO4. And that's going to be ammonium phosphate. I think I'm gonna switch to a different piece of paper because I'm struggling to get all that on that piece. Just a second. Okay. Let me switch to this. Okay, so next up we're going to do strontium and go across the row. Okay, so strontium, Sr2+. We're going to combine now with bromide. So Sr2+ and bromine is -1. So we get SrBr2. So we have that 2 coming over here. Okay, and then we can just name it strontium bromide. Okay, then we have strontium with oxide. So oxygen. So since we have the same number, it's just a 1-to-1 ratio, so we're just going to write SRO. Okay, and it's called strontium oxide. Okay, and then next we have hydroxide, so strontium plus hydroxide. Okay, so the 2 is just going to come down here. So we're going to get SR, and then we need to put OH in parentheses because it's a polyatomic ion, and then put the 2 on the outside. So always put parentheses if you have more than one polyatomic ion. You don't need it if you only have one. So then it's strontium hydroxide. Okay, then we have strontium with nitrate. So nitrate is NO3 -1. Put those together, we have 2 coming over here. So it's going to be SrNO3 parentheses 2 to show that we have 2 nitrates. So it's strontium nitrate. Okay, and then we have phosphate. So strontium and phosphate. Okay, so the 2's coming over here, the 3's coming over here. So we're going to get SR3, and then phosphate has to be in parentheses, PO4 2. And it's strontium phosphate. Okay, so that's it for strontium. So we're going to do the next one. Okay, so now we're going to go aluminum and go across. So we have aluminum is a +3. And the first one is bromide. So the bromine is a -1. So we have aluminum's 3 coming over here to be AlBr3. So it's going to be named aluminum bromide. Okay, then next is oxide. So aluminum and oxygen. So we have the 3 coming over, the 2 over here, so it's going to be Al2O3, aluminum oxide. Okay, then we have aluminum with hydroxide, so OH -1. So the 3 is going to come over here, and we're going to get AlOH3, and it's going to be aluminum hydroxide. Okay, then we have nitrate, so aluminum plus nitrate, NO3 -1. So with the 3 coming over here, so it's going to be AlNO3 with the parentheses, and then 3 again from aluminum. So it's aluminum nitrate. Okay, last one, phosphate, aluminum phosphate, PO4, -3. So we have a +3 and a -3, so those, it's just a 1-to-1 ratio. So we're gonna get AlPO4, okay? And we're gonna call it aluminum phosphate. Okay, so then next we have cobalt, and then we're gonna go across. Okay, so cobalt here has a +2 charge, cobalt, and we're gonna put that with bromine first. So the 2 is gonna come over here, so it's gonna be cobalt, CoBr2, and we're gonna name it cobalt. So cobalt is on your list of metals that have multiple ions. I think it's on that one. It does have multiple ions, so we're going to put a Roman numeral with it. Let me check your list real quick. Actually, I don't think I have that printed out. Okay, I don't have that printed out. I'm pretty sure it's on your list, in your notes. So it's going to be cobalt 2, because that's the charge of cobalt, and then bromide. Okay, and then cobalt again, we're going to add that with oxide this time. So since they have the same number, we can just write CO big O. And it's going to be cobalt 2 oxide. Okay, then we're going to put it with hydroxide. So the 2 is going to come over here on hydroxide. We're going to get COOH2. And it's going to be cobalt 2 hydroxide. Okay, and then cobalt with nitrate. So the 2 is going to come over here. We're going to get CONO3 2. And it's going to be cobalt 2 nitrate. Okay, and then last one, cobalt plus phosphate. So we're going to switch 2, 3, and get CO3. Phosphate needs to be in parentheses, PO4 2. And name it cobalt 2 phosphate. Okay. Now we're going to go down to lead and go across. So we have lead 4. That's what they've given us. Okay, so first we're going to combine that with bromine. And so 4 is going to come over here on bromine. We get PbBr4. And it's named lead 4 bromide. So lead is on your list for multiple ions. So you have to put your charge in parentheses. Okay, then we have Pb4 plus oxide, so oxygen, so they're going to swap. Okay, when they do that, Pb2O4, but since it's an ionic compound, we need the empirical formula. So we're going to reduce it to PbO2 and then name it lead 4 oxide. Okay, next one we're going to put with hydroxide. So the 4 is going to come over here on hydroxide, and we're going to get PbOH4 and name it lead 4 hydroxide. Okay, then we have nitrate. So the 4 is going to come over here. We're going to get PbNO3 4. This will be lead 4 nitrate. Okay, last one, phosphate. Pb4 plus phosphate. So they're going to swap. 4 is coming over here, 3 over here. So it's going to be Pb3. We're going to need phosphate in parentheses with a 4. And then we're going to name it lead 4 phosphate. Okay, we just have one more row to go. So we have mercury, and this is mercury 1. We're going to go across. Okay, so we have mercury 1, which is Hg2, 2 plus. So this 2, we're going to, this one right here, we're going to treat it like we do with the polyatomic ions, and we don't ever change it. Okay. So first we have bromine. So this 2 is going to come over here, and we're going to get Hg2Br2. So we're not going to find the empirical formula because, again, that 2 is not from the charge, not from bromine. We're treating it like the polyatomic ion, so we're going to leave it like that. So it's going to be mercury 1 bromide. Mercury's a little weird. Okay, then we have mercury plus oxygen. Okay, so here we have the same charges, +2 and a -2. So it's just going to be a 1-to-1 ratio, which looks like this, Hg2O. So we still have to leave that 2 on there. It's mercury 1 oxide. Okay. So then we're going to combine it with hydroxide. So again, the 2 is going to come over here. We're going to get Hg2OH2. Name it mercury 1 hydroxide. Okay. Next is nitrate. And we're going to get the 2 coming over here. So it's going to be Hg2NO3 2. Name it mercury 1 nitrate. Okay, last one, Hg2 and phosphate. So the 2's coming over here, 3's coming over here. So we're going to have to put mercury in parentheses like we do with polyatomic ions whenever we have multiple, and put the 3 on the outside. And then we can put PO4 in parentheses and put the 2 on the outside. And name it mercury 1 phosphate. That is all for that worksheet.